Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's me, your old friend Dan. It is Sunday night, April 13th, and I know I didn't really say I was going to do this show tonight. But just finished dinner and thought I could jump on for a few minutes, talk about Daredevil, talk about some cool shows on the Pitt, things like that, the floor. Um, some other stuff I've watched recently. So yeah, let's fire this up. We'll do an impromptu show and see where we go with it. So let's jump right in. Um, let's talk about. Let's start with the floor. Um, you guys know the movie Clerks, right? TV show, all that stuff, animated show. Brian O'Halloran is Dante from Clerks, and somehow he and I became friends on social media. So we've bounced back and forth like that. Happy birthdays, all that stuff. So I kind of feel like he's a little more than just an average person because, we pop up in each other's feeds. That said, I was surprised when I started watching this season of The Floor to discover he was a contestant. Now, kind of thought, all right, he'll probably be on there for a little bit, and then, because they go through people pretty quick on that show. He won. First night, he won $20,000. Next one night, he won $20,000. And the week after that, he won $20,000. Grand total, he has taken in $110,000. He has won like 9 or 10 challenges. And he's still there. There's only 2 episodes left. So he's kicking ass. Now, he's not winning the weekly 20,000 anymore because there's somebody else who has a bigger area of floor. If you don't watch the show, it's kind of hard. Kind of like The Floor is Lava, but you take over area. Like somewhere between Floor is Lava and Risk is what they did with this thing, along with trivia. And he has been surprisingly good with it. And I root for him each week because, like I said, I kind of feel like I know him now, social media buddy. So I'm pulling for him. He's got 2 weeks left. So I'm hoping he at least makes it to the finale. I posted a comment that I thought they should hire him for next season to be like the roving reporter guy and talk to the other contestants. And he liked that idea. So, but anyway, that's my thought on The Floor. It's a fun show. It's mindless, trivia, and it's always fun. But my friend Terry got back from Disneyland. She went to Disneyland for Star Wars Celebration or whatever it was, Star Wars night. She went with her sister, and they had a great time. And she brought me back little pretzel lightsabers. How cool is that? So I got some pretzel lightsabers, sabers. So, all right. So let's move on from The Floor. Wanted to give you an update on Obsidian Moon, the novel series I'm going to be writing. It started. I had the hardest time getting it started, just getting the words to start coming out. And I did it to myself because I wanted to do this book a little different in all the other the first book is going to be a Lucius Fogg novel. And yes, there's 3 other Lucius Fogg novels, but there's some big changes happening to Fogg, which will make the previous ones like a prequel series. And this will be like a new number 1. So if you haven't read the other ones, you don't need to, but you can always go back and read them. But as part of Obsidian Moon, this new one, Chaos Game, is going to be the first of the Obsidian Moon books. But I wanted to start it off with a prelude written by somebody else. These books are usually first-person narratives. It's probably the only book I write in first-person narrative. And I'm a big fan of Jimmy Doyle, the main character. I know they're called Lucius Fogg books, but Jimmy works for Lucius. It's kind of the same way Archie Goodwin works for Nero Wolfe. So, anyway, the writing in another voice was weird, and I wanted to write it like a letter. And it just took me a while. I couldn't get started. I couldn't get it out. And I wanted to put so much information in it. And it was important what this information was, but it didn't feel natural or flowing. And then I came up with two thoughts. One, just put the words out there. Just get them on there. You can fix them later, which is how I usually write anyway, but I had to remind myself that. And two, I decided to write the letter as if it was written in a Lovecraft universe, where you don't have to get heavy on the details, but you have to invoke the mood, the fear, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got past that. And now that's written. Now I can just get into writing as Jimmy. Now, this might change. I'm kind of in the middle where I'm thinking, instead of having it a prelude, I might have it as we start with Jimmy and then he reads the letter in the chapter. And then it'll be in the other voice. It's another way I can do it, but I haven't decided yet. Little momentito, got a little hiccups. All right, let's see if that takes care of it. All right, let's talk about some of the shows that have wrapped up recently. Are you watching The Pitt on Max, HBO Max? That show is amazing and intense and has so many neat ideas. What they've come up with, it's a formula now that HBO is now looking at as a possible way to do TV again. But do TV on a yearly basis. Hey, Triple B. So instead of, these big budget shows, what they did was they put a story in an emergency room in Pittsburgh, set in one day, and it's from the beginning of the morning shift to the end with a couple hours extra because of something that happens. It's Noah Wyle. He's not playing his character from ER, but it sure feels like a spiritual sequel to ER. There's some great characters in it. What's funny is it has two actors on the show are the daughters of famous actors. Fiona Dourif plays Dr. McKay, and that is the daughter of Brad Dourif from Lord of the Rings. He was Wormtail, and also the voice of Chucky in all the Child's Play movies. But he actually shows up in an episode playing her dad, which is awesome. Another famous daughter, Bryan Cranston's daughter, is in it. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Like I said, I wasn't really prepared to do the show tonight, but she is in it as well. And again, just the whole show is really cool. I was really impressed by it. You've got one of the characters from Picard, the girl that Noonien Sung created, Issa Bronis, I think his name. She's in the show. Yeah, it's really, really strong. If you're watching Daredevil, the rich blonde woman who stood up to Fisk in one episode and then seemed afraid in the next episode and that her husband was missing, she's in the show. But yeah, it's a really good show. And it just wrapped up season 1, and they're already working on season 2. And it's not going to be one of those things where you've got to wait 18 months, 2 years, whatever. It's going to be 1 year. They're going to do this like it's series TV, and they're going to do another 15 episodes probably. And it's going to take place about 10 months later, because there's some big stuff that happens in the season one, and they want people to have time to adjust and accept and change, evolve, and then go into season two. And where this is season one is Noah Wiley's character, Dr. Dr. Rabinovich, who is dealing with the anniversary of a tragedy and all this stuff going on. The second season is going to follow a different one of the characters we met in the first season as they go through something important. Now, I think Noah will still be one of the main characters, but it's going to be from a slightly different point of view. And I think that's really interesting. The show doesn't leave the ER. It goes out to the ambulance bay, and that's it. Doesn't go upstairs, doesn't go to other departments. It stays in the emergency room, and there's only a couple minor flashbacks, but hardly anything. There's really not that much outside. I think at one point they go to the park. At the very end, they go to the park across the street. Or at 2 points, they go to the roof, but it's the very beginning of the show and it's the very end of the show. So everything else takes place and each episode is 1 hour of time. So it's kind of like 24 in that sense. But again, it's a very big medical drama. If you get a chance, watch it. Something else I'm watching, and I'm not a big sitcom guy, but this is a comedy without the sit part. I don't like situation comedies, Three's Company, comedies where the humor comes from putting the main characters into easily solvable awkward situations where if anybody actually talked to each other for 2 seconds, they would be out of. They love those kind of things on TV. That's how most TV shows are. Three's Company, though, is a classic example. If Jack actually told Chrissy that was a cannabis plant, none of this would have happened. Well, what I'm watching is Mid-Century Modern. That is, and they describe it this way, so I'm going to use how they describe it. It's the gay Golden Girls. It's Nathan Lane, Nathan Lee Graham, Matt Bomer, and Linda Lavin. Nathan, the three guys have a fourth friend who passes away, and when they all get together at the funeral, they realize they don't spend as much time as they used to together, and they're all in a situation where the other two guys could pick up and move in with Nathan Lane's character in Florida and work out of there. Matt Bomer is a stewardess. What's the term for it? Steward? Anyway, he's a flight attendant. That's the word I wanted. Yeah, I'm old. So he can work out of really anywhere as long as they have a hub. And Nathan Lee Graham is looking for work, so he could do it anywhere. And it's interesting. Linda Lavin is brilliant. This, of course, is the last thing she did before she passed away. She didn't even finish the first season. So the last 2 episodes have to deal with her death. I saw an interview with Nathan Lee Graham, and he said that he realized that the last scene that Linda Lavin filmed was a scene with him. And it was in one of the earlier episodes, but they shot him out of order. He had said, they had said something. They had gone to Donnie and Marie concert, or Donnie Osmond concert. It's a long story. But Nathan Lane and Matt Bomer leave the scene singing a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. And as they leave, Linda Lavin turns to Nathan Lee Graham, who is an African American, looks at him and goes, "White people, am I right?" Great laugh. It just timing is perfect, and that's the last thing she ever said on film. And it's funny, and it's sad that she passed, but it's awesome that she got a chance to do something that's really, really funny and really kind of reminds us of how good an actress she was. I mean, Alice, if you were growing up in the 70s and 80s, that was a huge show back then. Flo and Mel's Diner. But it's a good show. It's interesting to see Matt Bomer playing this character. I'm so used to him as Neil Caffrey from White Collar. And then there's him as a Negative Man, Larry Trainer on Doom Patrol. And, but then to suddenly see him in this. But they're all really good. The first, I will warn you if you watch it, the pilot episode is forced. There's a laugh track, stuff like that. I think they ditch the laugh track a little ways in. They get their timing better. Immediately from episode 2, they start getting better. We're now on like episode 7, and it's clicking. It's really good. We got 3 left, and I know the last 2 are going to deal with Linda Lavin's passing, so that's going to be tough. And they've had some great guest stars. Rhea Perlman, Richard Kind, the redhead from Modern Family. Can't remember his name. But yeah, I mean, they've just a lot of really good guest stars and stuff. Like every episode, they have one big name guest star. Yeah, it's a good comedy. It's not a sitcom. So, all right, I'm going to hit with a couple movies that I've watched recently, and then we'll go into Daredevil. Save the best for last. I watched the 2018 Robin Hood movie with what's his name? I want to say Eggsy. It had Jamie Foxx, Ben Mendelsohn, the guy that played Eggsy in the Kingsman movies. Oh, why can't I think of his name? Just gone today. But it's a Batman movie. I mean, it is. Eve Hewson is in it as Marion. It is a freaking Jamie Dornan. But it's a freaking Batman movie, and I don't know why they did a Batman movie. It sets up as for a sequel. Jamie Dornan plays Will Scarlet. Well, Will. They don't ever give him the last name Scarlet, but it's pretty sure that at the end he becomes Two-Face. So F. Murray Abrams is in it. Like I said, Tim Minchin is in it, and I still can't remember the main guy. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, Taylor Egren. They've talked about him playing Wolverine, stuff like that. But yeah, it's. I don't know if I would call it a Robin Hood movie, but it's entertaining. It's on Prime. Yeah. One I did like a lot more than I thought I would. Do you guys remember when John Hamm? Oh, hey, Ed, good to see you. John Hamm did a Fletch movie a couple years ago called Confess Fletch, based on the novel Confess Fletch. And of course, this is picking up for the character that Chevy Chase originally did in 2 Fletch movies, Fletch and Fletch Lives. Roy Wood Jr. is in it. John Slattery is in it, so it's kind of a Mad Men reunion. It's good. I enjoyed it. I thought the humor in it was better than I expected. I really liked him as Fletch. I would love to see them do more. I doubt they will because I think it came out, nobody cared. It ended up on Paramount, I think it is. So if you have Paramount, it's worth the watch. It's a fun, afternoon. Robert Picardo's in it a little bit. Yeah, it's a fun film. So check that out if you get a chance. And now let's talk Daredevil. Again, this is not going to be a full show, guys. I'm just hitting some highlights. Like I said, I hadn't planned to do the show, but I had some time after dinner. I thought I'd jump on and talk about Daredevil before we get to the finale. So that 8th episode. Wow. Yeah, wow. That was... So, I hate how some people are covering the Daredevil Born Again. Because they're talking about how, yeah, they changed creative teams. So some of this was filmed with the old team, some with the new team. You can tell when it switches. There's an unbalance in it. You don't need to know that. You don't. You watch the first episode, then the second, the third, fourth, and then at the end you go, hey, that's the story. It doesn't need to be dissected. So there are some standout episodes this season. I really liked the first episode. I liked the episode, Hector episode. I liked the bank heist episode, the scene with Punisher and them yelling at each other. But this episode, it's like we have spent 7 episodes watching. We've spent 6 episodes. The first episode, Daredevil was still Daredevil. But we've watched Matt try to be somebody he isn't, and we've watched Wilson Fisk try to be somebody he isn't for 6 episodes. Then we finally see him start coming out. And now we get to see them really as they are. And it is so well done. The scenes with Bullseye are great. Wilson Bethel is terrific as Bullseye. How he gets out of prison. You have to stop and wonder, did Matt know doing what he did would allow Bullseye to get out? Was he complicit or was he just angry? I kind of feel like he might have been complicit. He might have been part of that. Just saying. But everybody's talking about the ending. And Lisa's watching it with me, and she doesn't understand. She didn't understand why he did what he did. And I should probably put the spoilers back up just in case. So I'm going to talk about what happened. Bullseye takes a shot at Wilson Fisk. Now we learned that, of course, that Kingpin isn't the one who hired Bullseye to kill Foggy, that it was actually Vanessa, but he takes a shot at Fisk. And Matt jumps in front of the bullet. So why would he do that? If you're a fan of Daredevil in the comics, you know why. If you're a fan of Daredevil from the Netflix shows, you know why. This is ingrained into who he is. Bullseye calls him out on it. Says, at another time, you'd be trying to save me. Because he had got transferred into Gen Pop. And as an ex-FBI agent, not going to go well for him. Especially since his hands are buckled. But at that moment, he knows that Fisk isn't the one who ordered Foggy's death. He knows that he helped Bullseye escape. So there's all that guilt on him anyway. But the fact is, I think 99 times out of 100, and maybe even higher than that, like 99.99, Matt's going to step in front of that bullet. Matt is going to try to save the villain. He wants the justice system to work, even when he's sure it isn't. He talked to his partner about it and about what are they doing there. A guy goes away to prison for fiddle faddle, and and all the bad stuff that's happening in the city. Hector gets killed. Hector Ayala. So why? Why is he doing it? Because he believes, in the end of the day, that the system has to work. It needs to work. And he couldn't live with himself. He had a hard enough time living with the idea that he threw Bullseye off the building, even though Bullseye lived. He had a hard time with that. So he had to step in front of that bullet. Now, how's he going to explain it? No idea. What's going to come of it? No idea. How's Fisk going to deal with it? We're going to find all that out next week on Tuesday. Looking forward to that. Cannot wait. It's 2 days from now. But, yeah. We know Punisher's coming back. We know there's going to be something with the task force. We know Bullseye's in it. It's going to be good. I have faith that it's going to be good. Any wild-ass speculations about the finale? No. Honestly, I don't. Because there isn't any lingering questions. It's not like, well, who did this? Or how are they going to resolve that? It's just, there's not a mystery. There's not a... I don't think Kingpin's going to be taken down. Bullseye's not going to be killed. Punisher's going to show up, but I don't have anything. There's a good chance Heather's going to figure it out. Yes, I will give you that. Triple B says Heather's going to find out Matt is Daredevil. Yeah, I think you're right. Or she's going to end up dead, which is what happens during the comics. But don't know. That's an interesting one. But she's going to have a lot of questions. Why is Matt acting so weird? How did he know to jump in front? How does a blind guy know to jump in front of a bullet? That's a lot to explain. So we shall see. All right. I think that's mainly what I got today. I want to remind you guys, if you haven't picked it up, Blythe, Trailer Park Night Rises, it's on Amazon, both in print and in ebook. Would love if you guys read it to please put up a review. I would appreciate it. I could use some reviews on it. I have not done a good job hyping that book. I need to. And I need to start hyping Obsidian Moon more, get more people on the mailing list. Hey, thank you, Triple P. I appreciate that immensely. So, for those of you who backed Karma, they're looking to get that book shipping out in the next week or so, is what I'm told. I'll probably find out more during the week, so by next week I should have more information for you guys on that. I will be back next Sunday because we got to talk about the finale, right? So I will be back. I might even bring a guest. I don't know yet. We will see. But please join me then. And everybody have a great week, okay? Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. And that's the one question I've got. I haven't signed any yet. I still got to get a hold of them and go, okay, how are we doing this? Because on the first one, we did tip-in sheets. So I'm thinking, are they going to mail me a bunch of books and I got to sign them and I got to mail them back? So, all right, guys. So wrapping it up there. Thank you again. Be good to each other. Take care. Remember, Thursday I'll be watching the NFL draft. And yeah, I'm a big football fan. So Sunday night, if you guys want to do any football talk, if you've got your favorite team, you want to know my thoughts on your draft picks, you can hit me up on that too, either through Facebook or just ask me during the show. So, all right, guys, have a great week, and I will see you all soon.